Hey guys, John and Cal, welcome back. Hey guys, John and Cal, welcome back to the farm. Today we get a bunch of... Hey, look up here. Look. You take some steps to make sure they're warm during the winter. Hey, look. Hey. Hey, you gotta sit up here. People want to see you on the video. Hey, sit up. You lazy bum. Hey guys, John and Cal here today. We get a ton of questions about how we keep our animals warm during the winter. Today we're going to walk around and show you some of the things that you need to do and some of the things we do. We've got a new thing that we're doing this year that we learned from last year we needed to add. So not all our animals have a nice thick double coat like Cal here. So we're going to walk around and show you some steps to keep your animals warm during the winter. You may be wondering why we're talking about it on the nicest day we've had in about a week, but better to be prepared. I'd rather get started preparing while it's warm rather than when it's 30 degrees and the animals already need it. So first stop is back here at the chickens, and the chickens actually do really well during the winter. They can get up in these chicken tractors and get out of the wind and rain. Excuse me. As it starts to get colder, we're going to add more plastic like we have on top here. We just wrap the front and the sides, and that way they are out of the wind. Basically, the chickens just need to be out of the wind and rain. They can get a dry spot, get up off that wet ground on their roosts, and make sure the wind is off of them. That's why we wrap the sides of the coops. They huddle in, and guys, chickens produce a lot of body heat, so they huddle in on those roosts and they do very well. Fortunately for us, good morning. Fortunately for us here in Tennessee, it does not get extremely cold. Last year we did have a weird winter where we had some days that were -17 with the wind chill, and it got really cold. But fortunately for us, we don't have extreme temperatures, but we still need to take the precautions to make sure these guys have adequate warmth and a good place to stay in the winter. So we're gonna head up here to our younger chicken flock and show you what we're doing with them and see if we're gonna continue that the whole winter. All right, up here at our younger flocks, you guys have seen the setup. It's just our meat chicken tractor. We've got it wrapped on 3 sides with tarp. I'm thinking about getting clear plastic and putting it across the front when it gets very cold. But I'm not 100% sure if I want to do this setup or not. The one thing I like about the chicken tractors is they've got the bottom where the poop falls through, so they're never in their poop. I think these birds are getting old enough now. We could put them up in one of the chickshaws, and they would be just fine. We've got about 20 or 30 Bielefelders, 20 to 30 black Australorp. Let's get them out of the corner here. You can see they're still kind of skittish of us. But I like this setup, one, because I could put a deep bedding down here. I could keep adding hay or straw, and they could stay in here. And the snow, they're not going to have snow. On the other ones, when we do get snow, which we don't get a ton, but when we do, the birds don't like coming out of the chickshaws. So for that reason, I like this setup a little bit better. But I think we might go to the chickshaws, which gives us extra stops, because I'll probably separate them, put the Bielefelders in one, put the Australorps in the other. We've got plenty of the chickshaws available to do that. And that way they're just constantly off their manure. We could move this, and we have been moving it a little bit at a time. But just not quite sure what I want to do. I don't think the birds has even learned to roost. Whoa! Cal, hey. You scared the birds a little bit. So we might do the chickshaws. We might keep them in here. Jamie and I are going to talk about it and figure out what we're going to do. But this is not a bad setup, just because the snow's never out and they can constantly move around. We can move this around. Just not 100% sure what I want to do. And the biggest reason is just because of keeping them off of their manure. So we'll see. This is not a bad choice, and the chickshaw is not a bad choice. So we got some thinking to do, but the chickens will be prepared for the cold weather. Let's go check out the pigs. All right, guys, back here with the boar pen. We don't talk about these guys too much. You can see, oh, he stopped. I talked about the younger ones rooting. old Phil here was turning that soil when I came back. We got a little bit of rain, and they like this wet soil. So Phil and Gordo have kind of been to rooting. Hey there, Ryder. But the biggest thing for us is keeping them dry in the winter. You can see these guys are out here sunbathing a little bit, Henry, Shiloh, and Tuck. But so for us, a good shelter is key. We've got tons of questions. It's probably the most asked question we get, and it is about our pigloos. I've had people say, I've searched up pigloos and I cannot find them online anywhere. Well, they're not pigloos. They're actually water storage tanks. We got these at Tractor Supply. We've talked about this a lot, but the price has over doubled, so they're ridiculously priced now, so we do not get these anymore. But the big thing about these that I really like is that they have the plastic bottom, and that way it does not get wet. Yes, rain will come in there every once in a while and get the front a little wet, but the pigs can go in the back and stay dry. We do put hay in there instead of straw. Somebody asked why we do that. Well, we have good access to hay, and the pigs will eat the hay, and they'll also bed in what they don't eat. Yes, I know it gets wet and moldier than straw, but we keep this kind of cleaned out, keep them moving so that doesn't happen. But so nice shelter, and the pigloo is key for us. We pick that up, roll it around, and it works out perfect. So that is a big step for us. I'm planning on moving these guys. The plan was to go around the pond here a little ways, but I do not want the whole area around the pond to look like this. So I believe we're going to be heading the boars back up into the woods here on their next move, which is going to be coming pretty quick. So good shelter is key so they can stay dry and out of the wind, and that pigloo with the plastic sides works fantastic for that. Let's check out our other pig setups. Okay guys, next stop on our pig shelters is these red barns. And if you have not seen the video on all of our barns, we'll link that here. This is the young gilts. A couple sows are in here as well. But these barns have worked pretty well for us. If you remember, we talked about this one is kind of in a low area, so it gets a little bit wet. But same thing, we just keep a bunch of hay in there, and they're able to get out of the wind and out of the elements. And there's one thing we're gonna change, and it is this. Last year, these doors are 7 feet high, way too tall for pigs. We weren't really thinking about it, but we're gonna show you what we did on the other barn. But we've got an area, we're gonna make it about a 3 foot high door, so when that rain or snow or whatever's blowing in, it's not coming all the way through the opening. But like I said, these have worked out well. Just add hay. They have access to 2 of these right now. We are gonna get some rain this weekend, so I'll be able to see which one of these pens gets a lot of rain, but they get to come in here. The other thing is, they say there's strength in numbers, but there's also heat in numbers. So all of our chickens obviously have more than one. Pigs are more than one. Even if you just have 2, you don't ever want these pigs to be by themselves. So even if you just have 2 of them together, they can use that body heat. Obviously they don't have skin like us. They've got that thick skin and fur. That helps them a lot, but they all huddle up in a nice pig pile, and they are able to keep themselves warm. You gotta check out Air Molly Jordan here. Tongue's always out. Had a bunch of people saying they like that, so let's make sure we get that. Oh, large Marge. Gotta get those ears on here too, don't we? Big old floppy ears. But so, always keep your animals more than one. They can use that body heat. And let's go show you what we did on this other barn to keep some of the elements from getting inside of their homes. Okay guys, there it is. Simple fix. The doors are 3 feet wide. I came 4 feet down. I've got 4 little pocket hole screws, And I think that is going to help some of that rain and wind. Not so much wind, obviously the wind's going to come under here still, but the rain and snow, it's going to help keep it dry inside of here. And I know these girls are going to enjoy that. So I've only made one so far just to see how it works. We can just take it down and move it around the barn, or if it works really well, I will make more and fill these in. I might even be able to come down a little bit farther than 4 feet, but I wanted to leave a decent size opening so we can get in and out. Let me out, girls. Excuse me. Yeah, that's not so bad for us. Oh, unless there's pigs in the way that are itching on the barn to get out. So it's not perfect. I tried to keep it red so Jamie would liked it. We had old metal laying around, but I think that is definitely going to help. So covering up these tall doorways, keeping some of that rain. Obviously you still get wet right in the front, but the pigs can get to the back or in the corners and get out of those elements. So what do you think, Mabel? Don't really care, you just want some food? I get it. I get it. So those are some of the ways we've helped these older pigs that are rotating around the barns. I'm gonna add some to that barn over there. And now let's finish up with everyone's favorite, the piglets, and see what we've got for them. Another question we get a lot is it okay to have piglets in the winter? Well, it's not ideal. We've done it before. Sometimes I feel it's easier to keep them warm than it is to cool them down in the summer. So you just got to determine what's best for your farm. Before we check out the piglets, we get the question about water. How do you keep your water thawed out and stuff during the winter? Biggest thing for us, we just use these rubber pans. They will freeze, but we find the pigs don't drink as much water, but we'll come out and check it 2 to 3 times. We can flip those rubber pans over and stomp on them, and it gets all that ice out of them, and that's the easiest way for us. We don't have access to electricity at most of our barns around here, so we can't run heated waterers. We've never used heated waterers. We just use the rubber pans, and they work great for us. Like I said, you got to check them a couple more times a day in the winter. But the pigs do not drink as much when it's really cold out, but you do want them to have some access to some nice water still. So check out these little piggers outside enjoying the sunshine. Everyone's doing good. Same thing with the pigs. We're gonna take them off mamas here. Well, I'm just kidding. They got about 4 more weeks with mamas here, but when we do take them off mamas, all the piglets will be in together before they head to new farms or they stay here. So they're gonna have plenty of heat with each other. They'll be able to get up out of the wind inside the farrowing barn. And so it's really not that big of an issue. As long as you can, same with all the animals, you gotta get them out of the wet, they gotta be able to get dry, and they need to be able to get out of the wind. So one thing we do on the farrowing barn, I know a lot of you have seen it, is these curtains. And that helps a lot to keep a lot of that wind out of there. It's just like the freezer curtains at the grocery store. We've got a link to these and a link to a lot of things that we use on the farm down in the description. We get a little kickback from Amazon when you use that link, but it doesn't cost you any more. So you might want to check those out. You can use them on dog houses, anything. So those actually work really well. We'll go in and check out the other piglets, but I think we got whoa, that was windy. Hey, Willow. Hey, Willow. Hey. Here's Willow piglets. All of them out enjoying the sun. Hey, how are you? How are you doing? I actually seen them up in her water bowl over there. So obviously it's not that cold. It's supposed to be in the 50s today. But like I said, we're preparing now, so we don't have to do it before it's too late. So piglets are doing great. The other thing, obviously, hey, everybody wants to see you. I know you want to nibble on my boots, but we want to see you. Hey. The other thing, obviously, we do inside, same in this barn as it is in every other barn. We'll sneak in here with Penny. We've got the heat lamps for the piglets. That's a good way that, oh, hey, Penny. That's a good way for the piglets to be able to stay warm. Eventually, when they don't need it, they move out from under there and they stay outside. So you can leave the heat lamps on People ask how long. We just leave ours on until they don't use them anymore. So piglets kind of decide when they want to use them and when they want to quit using them. If it's too hot, they move away. If it's cold, they go under the heat lamps. So the heat lamps are another good way that you can keep your piggies warm. Hey guys, hey, good morning. So curtains, heat lamps, and getting them out of the wind. So let's might as well check out the last group in here. The oldest group's the one stuck inside. And I can see why. So guys, I hope some of those tips helped for you. Like I said, we don't get as cold as a lot of places, but I don't really think that matters as much. As long as you have access for them to get out of the elements, your animals will be fine. So hopefully we covered everything. If you guys have any questions, leave them below in the comments. Make sure you guys have a great day. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Go blue, and we'll see you guys on the next video.